Black threads, black stories, the fabric of our legacy.
All right. Let's do the little
You
bag.
put this right here.
Yeah, I know.
Are you gonna put it on here?
Yeah. It's gotta be official. Like, this is first time for everything.
It is
I'm
a
putting
big first
on
time.
Custom hanger.
Legit. We don't play.
It comes with the hanger?
No, I honestly should start. I feel like it honestly is a staple. Because in your closet, most people hang these. What that says, it's only up from here.
It's only up from here.
Yeah. That's your travel. This is our classic travel sweatsuit. Your passport pocket goes in the middle, so your passport goes there and your cards. And on the sleeve, that's where your AirPods go.
AirPods?
Your AirPods, headphones, it's a specific zipper that is
I'll eventually have my hair come through.
specifically for travel. You're one of us now. Welcome to the team. Black History Month.
I'm still alive.
Passport pocket.
Yeah, it's legit.
Cards.
This is legit.
That's where that goes. So
Passport and all
instead
that.
of going to TSA and like, oh, I gotta go in my bag, or maybe your wife does that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But instead of that, you can put it right in your
I
pocket.
carry my own passport now.
Instead of doing that, you keep it in there, and then this is for your headphones, earphones. That's what that's for. AirPods.
Team Apple.
I'm Team Apple too.
All right, so I'm here with Chelsea.
Yes.
And we are here in Uptimum.
Body.
We're in the Optimum Takeoff Terminal.
Yes, we are. You see it?
Yeah.
You see it?
I love this whole
Concept.
everything.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we got the Marco Matters.
Yes,
We
definitely.
got the shrine here.
He's got to be here.
Yeah.
I'm literally here because I came looking for a place to put his boots.
Yeah.
And yeah, I ended up opening up a store. That was not the plan.
It was the plan. It was.
God's plan.
It was the plan.
Yes, you're right. God's plan.
Yeah. So we're
God's
here
plan.
doing a Black History Month feature. And you reached out to me with a very loose concept. You just want to do something special. You want to, well, you tell me, what was in your head? Why did you do this?
So for me, I feel like in order to appreciate where I am, I feel like it was best to understand where we come from, especially like in Bermuda, our culture, brands or businesses that have strengthened the community and have been trailblazers. And I feel like when I think of my clothing, it's bigger than the clothing. It's more so like the impact, community, and all of those things. And so when I reached out to you, it was, the concept was threads, what was it? It's on my phone.
Yeah,
It
you
was
had a whole...
black threads build stories, the fabric of our legacy.
Wow.
And because I do clothing, like we had other entrepreneurs, but I think the ones that we highlighted today are the ones that had, like, they're so special. And it kind of goes into with my brand fashion and those type of things. So that's why I just wanted them to, I just wanted to give their flowers and highlight Black businesses in Bermuda that have literally set the standard. Because without them, I wouldn't even be here.
Yeah.
Like, and individually, they've all played a part in my story. So it was just like, I didn't want to do the cliche like model thing. Of course, I'm gonna take pictures and stuff, but I wanted something that spoke to, and most of my content lately has been simple but impactful. So.
Right. And we visited some locations that have been in existence longer than you have.
No, that I've ever been alive. You mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Jazz's was talking about before 1989.
Right.
And we got to learn that they were the first urban boutique. Like, I just think the stories to me was so inspiring. Like, did you feel inspired? I felt inspired.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, they've experienced COVID. They've experienced so many different generational things, should I say? And they're still standing. I think that's also, like, something to applaud. So, yeah, I reached out to him. And I gave him because I did a mood board.
Yes.
And I was like, you know, I'm looking to get this shot, like, and I've wanted to work with you. And he honestly was like, you know, let's do this together. And I think that also speaks to just, you know, like, that just made me feel a little bit more like comfortable in my country, because sometimes we don't really have that collaborative impact. And you do your thing, like, I've been seeing your stuff. So I think together what we produced, like only on a 3-minute scale, is gonna be impactful. Like, and what could we do if you guys gave us, like, if Instagram gave us longer times, you know?
I think the aha moment for me was when we were talking about the fabric that the Gombe's use for their suits, and thinking about like how important Gombe's are to the culture, but you never really get to appreciate all of the behind the scenes and what goes into it. And if you remove the fabric
That's
shop,
crazy. The fabric of our
you
legacy.
remove
The legacy and
there
all of
are
that.
no Gombe's.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, and it just gave me a new appreciation for how we are all
Intertwined. And connected.
And the foundation for what is so much to so many. You know, we've been able to bring out those sorts of stories this afternoon. You didn't know this, but when you reached out to me, I'd actually, like, I've been following your journey, you know, and your family's journey, and the progression, and seeing you open up a store, and within the last couple of years, seeing what you've had to like push through, like the adversity, and just
why you keep having me up
fulfilling
here
your
shedding
dreams.
tears in my makeup? Lord have mercy. This is what he
Yeah,
didn't say he
and
was gonna
so
say all of this.
I would like to give back and collaborate with you and stuff like that. So you reaching out was actually just ticking a box that already existed.
And it's always on God's
So,
timing, because I think
absolutely.
this versus what I was going to do before, I think this to me was so saddening, because we talk about legacy, we talk about community, we talk about entrepreneurs that have endured so much. And like you said, my journey, I think this year, like especially with losing my brother, changed the vision, the mission of the brand altogether. Because like I've always had like nice little concepts. I love creative directing, but there's always, since then, my goal has always been, I need a message, I need a message. It needs to be a message. And nothing forced, but something where you see triumph and you see through adversity, all those things. So it's crazy that you said that, because you never know who's watching your journey.
Yeah.
And I think when I did reach out to you, your response, like I actually was like, what? Like I was so touched, because like, let's do this together.
Yeah. The two C's that I often see is competition and collaboration. Competition is, you know, they're both human nature, but I think when you talk about businesses and things that are long-standing, I think the reason that they're long-standing is because of the collaborative aspect, you know. And you can compete healthily.
Yeah.
You know, it's healthy competition.
Yeah, always.
But the collaborative part
It hits
allows
different.
you to really, it hits different, and it really allows you to be in the game for as long as you have the passion to, you know. And where do you see yourself in 31 years? You know, I mean, you'll be looking back at this moment at some point.
Yeah.
What do you think you'll be feeling watching your journey today, 30 years from now? The robots have taken over everything.
I don't even know. How could I even put it in words how I feel?
How do you feel right now?
I feel like I'm on a mission. That's how I feel right now. I feel like with my purpose and everything, and it always stems down to, like, before I lost my brother, I've always been motivated, but it's just been a different, more of an intentional drive for me. It's more of a, let me see how many people that I can win over to remind them that if I can do it, so can them. So I think for me, it would just be not even a contentment. I would just be like, you know, when you go to have, they say that God's gonna be like, well done, my good and faithful servant. I think I would just give myself that, like, yeah, like you did that. And I think that satisfaction of being proud of yourself, nobody else can give that to you, because that means that I don't care what anybody else has to say. I know my truth, the things that I've had to endure to get to where I am now. So I think it would just be a level of like gratitude. Gratitude is what I would feel because of the highs, the lows, the journey. And the journey and the process is literally what this is all about. You know, even losing my brother, of course, it was a year of me in darkness. I would have never, that's why I said gratitude to go up, because I know he got me here. It would have never, if I didn't like allow God to like guide my steps, I wouldn't have seen this. It was no way that, because we were tight. All of this, my logo, is from my brother.
Wow.
His boots that you see, we did that together. We did that photo shoot at the top months before he passed away. And he usually doesn't even let me do photo shoots.
Yeah.
But his boots weren't finished, but I had this like feeling like, let me direct this shoot. Wow. He was like, okay. So I did that like right before he passed away. His boots weren't done, but I did that. So it's just like I don't know, it's just continuing something that, you know, his mission as well. So it's a little bit more intentional, but if I got to look back at myself 31 years from now, I will be full of gratitude and just still humility and humbleness, because I just feel like girl, you did that. Like you did that. And like even in this moment, I don't think, my best friend always says, because we keep raising the bar, we never really get to be fully like, I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
In this moment, I feel like it's still work to do. And I know you probably feel that way sometimes, so you don't really get to be like, oh shoot, look how far I've come. Because you're constantly like, you know the time, you're on borrowed time. Now that my brother passed away at 29. I'm turning 30 in 2 weeks.
You're 29 now.
I'm 29 now.
And you live in an age where you said one of the things that you love as I was setting up this stuff is like the content and the social media and stuff like that. I mean, you're fortunate, a lot of these businesses, when they started,
I know.
straight word of mouth. You know,
Straight word of mouth.
You know, treat your customers.
Yeah.
Not saying that you don't do all of those things, but in addition now you have tools where you could literally inspire somebody that's never been to Bermuda to get off a plane, do the departure terminal that was sitting here right now, and literally say, I know where this store is, I know exactly what I want.
Access.
All of that. So
the access, it's different.
You said you love this part of the process a lot as well.
Yeah.
So
this is my favorite part of the process. The designing part I do, but because I haven't been able to really sit still, like Shika was saying, you have to adapt with the trends. Me coming from America to Bermuda, Bermudians love like basic, simplistic, quality pieces.
yeah.
So from my two-tone, where are they? Like the two-tone,
Right.
I've adjusted to more of a solid piece, because those are what really made me kind of go viral around the world. But here, specifically, I've had to adjust to the design of the basics. But for me, you could take a basic sweatsuit and tell whatever story you want to.
Yeah.
That's what I love. I love the storytelling. I remember watching this thing on Instagram and they was talking about Coke doesn't sell you like take a Coke. If you go on their Instagram, they sell the feeling. So I love selling that feeling, that motivation feeling, that, oh my God, that person went from that and they did this. So I started the business because it was a brand that was encouraging women to be a better version of themselves.
Okay.
It was a strictly for women business. And
now I got on one.
yes, now they're unisex, and then kids and stuff like that. So now I'm transitioning more into like a family brand.
Okay.
Love, unity. You have aunties and grandpas and uncles coming in to buy for their great grandchildren, and that's what I like to see. So the creative part of it, the storytelling part of it, I will do that any day.
It's almost like this is your canvas.
Yeah.
You're a painter and you're just adding that layer of all of what you just said.
Yes. So enough about me. So you and your journey, because I've seen his work, and I like I said, I have a love for creative directing, photo shoots, video shoots, but things that are like, they catch my eye because it's like more depth.
Yeah.
And I mean more depth, I mean more meaning. So I've been seeing you do your thing. So how do you feel about where you are? What would the dirty one, cause you guys got some years of me. So in a few years, in about 10, 15 years, would you look back and what would you say? Or how would you feel about looking at you now? Got a 50 script on her.
Flip the script on me. I just feel that my part in all of this is using, I didn't go to school for any of this.
You didn't?
I school YouTube Academy.
Shut up, I didn't know that.
But it's always been a passion of mine. I've always held a camera since the film days and stuff like that. But this is a tool. These cameras are tools. But for me, the purpose is just like bringing out stories and allowing people to share what it is that they love, and just connecting all of those dots, because I feel like we're more similar than we are different. And sometimes all it takes is just hitting that record button and capturing those things that are unique, but also very much a fabric of who we are as people, and to be able to capture the culture and to be able to document. So in 31 years,
Yeah.
hopefully, not just myself, but we'll look at a collection of what people have been able to capture. And in today's age, more than even before, everybody has a phone that's capable of capturing things on the fly. So I just think it's a great time to be alive, to be able to, like you said, in 30 years, the amount of content that we're gonna be able to comb through in 4K,
That's crazy.
like, it's just, it blows my mind. And things will change, but I think our stories will still be relevant to
For sure.
someone that's watching 30 years from now.
For sure.
So I guess without rambling too much more, it's just, to me, I just feel that that's a part that I feel, you know, blessed to have the knowledge and the skill set and the passion to be able to hit that record button and to be able to engage with people and to create art. Like, it
That's
is an
what
art.
it is at the end of the day.
You
It is
know,
art.
it's not just, I mean, we visited so many different stops today,
Yeah, we did.
but then I have to go home and sort of
Yeah.
put it together in a way that truly,
That's the hard part. He gets
I mean, it was, to be her was special. And I feel like the end result needs to carry that through to the audience that's watching it, because it truly was special to be able to highlight people that have put in so many years to give back to our community, to be able to give them the flowers as you told every last one of them that we stopped, and to just really have that same energy being translated to the person that's watching it today and 30 years from now.
Yeah, for sure. And you allowed each person to, you guided them in a way, and any good people could do that. So you could give yourself a round of applause. I was impressed. He was able to guide each, because every time we walked in, they was like, I don't want to talk. He said 2 questions.
Yeah.
We were there for like, I don't know, but he got them to express and share and give stories and open up. And it's like all of this has been inside of you. Like, to me, it was powerful. So shout out to you, because you did that for sure.
Well, thank you. So, happy Black History Month, celebrating our entrepreneurs, our business owners like yourself.
Black threads.
Black
people
threads.
build stories.
Say it
sorry,
again,
sorry.
say it again, say it again. This is our closing statement right here.
Black threads, black stories, the fabric of our legacy.
So if you don't remember anything else that you saw from our rambling
Black
just
threads.
now, remember that.
Black threads, black stories, the fabric of our legacy. Part 1. High five, high five. Thank you. And that's nice. You gotta send this to me.
That's dope.
You have a YouTube channel?
Mm-hmm.